Mild spoilers are present in this episode.
Third World Cinema Club.
Hello, folks.
Hello.
Welcome to a very special Valentine's edition episode of Third World Cinema Club.
Yes.
Club. Did I say club? I'm John Loverboy Tawasil from Present Confusion.
I'm DJ Ramones from ReverseLay.net.
I'm Jim Melicula at iba pa.
I'm Princess Kinoko Film Police Reviews.
Okay, so we're here to talk about the latest film by director Antoinette Hadone, Alone Together.
Yes.
Most anticipated film.
Yep.
Yes, the
Of
most
2019.
anticipated film of 2019 so far.
Yes. By the way, it's his birthday.
Yeah, today is DJ's birthday.
Yay,
So this
happy
is a special
birthday.
birthday
The
episode.
V-Day Boy.
Happy birthday
guys.
to you.
So happy birthday,
You're
DJ.
made on a special day.
So together we watched Alone Together.
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 Together, we're not quite alone.
And here's our take on the film. So I guess I'll start.
Yes, go ahead.
I loved it. It's a great film. It's not as I like Never Not Love You More. And I approached it as I didn't approach it as a love story. It's not really a love story. The love story is like accessory to, for me, what the film is really all about. It's a coming of age film. It's a personal film. It's a Liza Soberano film, basically. And Liza is amazing in this film.
Yes, I agree.
It's ang dami niyang pinag-uusapan. Parang yun nga may backdrop siya na UP. It embodies the UP spirit of makibaka ka, of changing the world with your own hands. Also it explores yung parang yung sliding scale of idealism versus cynicism. Na tipong as we grow older, we trade our idealistic, notions of our youth with compromise.
Yep.
And dun sa compromise, we can't find parang the happiness that we want or we need. Yun. It's a really nicely acted film. I had a few problems with like the end nung patapos na siya. Pero overall, this is one of the, considering na 7 pa lang ang lumabas na pelikula ngayon sa Philippine cinemas, this is the best film I've
Yes.
seen so far in Philippine cinemas. Probably not the best romantic film, at least pa rin sa akin. Pero the best film in cinemas. DJ.
Hello. Hindi ko pa sigurado kung ano yung overall judgment ko sa kanya. Pero in relation, I guess, to Never Not Love You, I like this better. Kasi structurally, it's a lot more satisfying to me. Yung Never Not Love You, paano ba? Yung third act niya, I appreciate na it's a good film. It challenges certain things about the genre. Pero frustrating lang talaga kasi for me, given what I expected of the movie. And it was not the case with Alone Together for me. It's better. So, knee-jerk reaction is better for me compared to Adonis' last movie. The other thing is, I admit ngayon ko lang napanood si Liza and si Enrique
Okay.
on screen, on film, and I don't watch a lot of TV, so ngayon ko lang talaga sila napanood. And I'm surprised, they act really good, especially Liza. Kasi daming luhang
Actually, si Liza Soberano nag-stand out dito eh. Yun.
paano ba? Stream of consciousness talaga. Na-mention mo, John, kasi it plays on the UP spirit kasi, ano ba? They marketed the film as a UP UST thing, pero it's really more about
UP.
UP lang.
It's
Si
true.
Liza's character, she's named Christine Lazaro in the film. At some point, halfway through the film, parang naisip ko na, it's playing on yung guilt ng mga eskola ng bayan na pinag-aral kayo ng...
Yeah,
So
Mm,
parang nagkakaroon ng I should save the world kasi I've been so privileged to have this kind of education, etc. Tapos, pero later on, na-develop ko na, yung character arc kasi ni Liza, I guess, mild spoiler to na.
Yeah, mild spoilers.
Yung general trajectory kasi ng character niya is, so sobrang promising sa simula, yun nga, dahil nung student pa siya. And then, naging sobrang down siya because something happened. And then, it was a story of recovery and redemption. And then,
Yes.
at the end, naisip ko, yung character name niya, Christine Lazaro, it has Christ and Lazaro, or Lazarus in it. So, it's about messianic complex dahil nga, I want to change the world, save the world, pero I failed, pero I'm resurrected. So, may
Okay.
it's a story of resurrection, revival.
Actually, mas nakikita ko siya sa Redemption.
Redemption din, yes.
Redemption.
And focal point ng film visually yung spoliarium na painting
Yes.
with all its gore and death and sacrifice, I guess. Ayun. So yeah, it's really Liza Soberano's story, yung character niya. And may add-on na lang with Enrique na medyo flat yung character niya, parang binubuhay lang niya yung lyrics ng 214 na I'm here for you whenever, forever, ganyan.
Ako na next.
Princess.
Hi guys. Ako naman, medyo pababa yung feeling ko sa kanya.
Ayan na.
It's actually a good movie. Good siya kasi in a way na structured. That's what I appreciate with the way that Hadaone and her team works. Kilala niyo naman ayoko sa
And our special guest.
So anyways, I like the way that she does her films from 6 Degrees of Separation, That Thing Called Hannah, hanggang sa ito nga, tsaka si Never Not Love You, of course. And I agree with DJ. Medyo, kaya hindi ako sobrang natuwa sa ending ng Never Not Love You is because I didn't find it as a complete resolution in real life. Pero dun sa film, it worked. Dito, and overall, okay siya. My only minor problem was Enrique Hill. Not Enrique Hill per se, pero the way that they wrote his character. Kasi I think, kung they were trying to put it on Christine's perspective, it's okay. Kaya lang, sobrang may times na parang, that's not how a real, or how a doctor or a guy would actually act. Like, kapag ayaw na sa'yo nung tao or something, or kung gusto, ganyan. Basta may mga ganong parts. So, yun. And then, yun nga, voiceovers. Ang dating sa akin is like, may parts na nawala sa editing or sa post-production, ganun. Kaya siguro yung pagkalagay ng voiceovers is medyo awkward at times.
Yeah. Parang yung the ending seems kinda tack on. Yung considering that voiceover, parang hindi mo na kailangan eh. Pero it still kind of worked, pero not as good as it could have been.
Actually, I find, nung una, nagustuhan ko yung ending kasi parang sabi ko, okay naman eh, they're happy. Kaya lang, medyo awkward siya.
Yes.
Kasi parang, so, Liza, natupad mo ba yung dreams mo? O humarot ka? Parang gano'n.
Humarot talaga yung term.
Alam mo yun, parang, siguro, yun nga, parang sabi ko kanina, in Liza's performance, as in, kung pwede ibigay lahat ng 10 over 10 sa kanya na, gano'n. Kasi sobrang in-amp up talaga niya yung game niya. And actually, medyo Liz Ken fan nga ako. So, dati, mas na-overpower ni Enrique si Liza. Si Liza, she always has this...
Previous films, no? Medyo mahinhin pa yung
acting niya.
Pero dito, she's in full force eh.
Kaya ako na parang, hindi, actually si Enrique, hindi ganyan ang performance niya. Parang feeling ko, he was kind of contrived. So, overall, 4 over 5 stars.
Bumaba na ng 0.75.
From 0.75 na wala na.
Dos yung grade niya.
Dos na.
Pwede na.
Yun.
Sa akin naman, yes, I agree. It's a great film. Standout si dito si Liza Soberano. Actually, as of now or so far, early contender na siya for Best Actress kung may mga awards buzz diba ganon. Ang gusto ko sa character ni Liza Soberano, she's very relatable. may mga parts siya doon na nakarelate ako, especially when it comes to work. Like, parang pag fresh graduate ka, you're so hopeful, and then suddenly there's something came up related to your job, and then you got disappointed. And it's very, true, it's very realistic for me. Ganon. And then, ano pa ba? Ito kasi yung film ni Hadaoni again na nagpapakita na siya na yung realism sa romantic relationship which was manifested na in Never Not Love You. Although aminin ko, when it comes to the structure and the story, mas gusto ko ang Never Not Love You kasi balance yung binigyan ng ng moments yung characters nila Nadine Lustre and James Reid. Dito kasi ang nagsa-standout talaga si Liza Soberano.
Sinundan kasi talaga si Nadine tsaka si James Reid. Yung kumbaga yung kwento nila from beginning to end. Well, to end, quote unquote, kasi unresolved nga yung ending, di ba? Pero ito it's more of may gaps, di ba? Yung pagka-tell ng story.
Saka ito kasing movie na to, hindi rin siya 3-act structure kasi biglang the first yung campus days nila, and then suddenly nag-jump na siya sa ito na pala, ito na yung real world na, di ba, ni tawag dito ni Liza Soberano. Ito na pala sila. Kasi bilang babalik na naman. So hindi siya ordinary na tawag dito drama movie. And then ano pa ba? Aminado, I was expecting dun sa character nga ni Enrique Hill kasi nga it's about doctors to the barrio, and I saw a few years ago a film about doctors to the barrio, yung Mulanay, starring Jacqueline Jose and Gina Alahar. So parang dito okay, parang nabanggit na lang siya, and then
in passing na lang.
Yun na lang, 'di ba? And then suddenly
hindi natin nakita yung barrio
hindi natin nakita kung anong ginawa niya.
Masyadong mahal, naka New York na kasi sila.
Sorry po,
ganon.
pero spoiler alert, parang nanalo ka pa ng award, hindi ka naman nasa baryo.
Ayun.
Tapos na kasi.
Oo.
Yan, pag-usapan natin mamaya yung medical stuff.
Tapos yun na nga, yun din yung kanina nga, before we record this, yung may mga problems na nga with the characters nga ni Enrique Hill. Although, ang nakikita ko kasi sa character ni Enrique Hill ay para siyang yung mga chick flick characters, di ba, na understanding, ganon. Siya yung nagiging motivator, ganyan. Siya yung pinagkukuhaan na strength ng character ni Liza, yung lalaki.
Ito the other way around And it's an interesting perspective din. You said something earlier about yung kung gusto mo nang iwanan yung lalaki. Alisan mo na
Hindi na based in real life.
Sasabayan ko ng drama, ng love song yung
Ayan tayo.
monologue mo. Charot. Anyway, mild spoilers or yun. Meron ditong isang relationship between a woman and a man. Tapos the girl is being controlled by this guy. He's controlling almost all aspects of her life. And I find very refreshing about Alone Together is that this female character, she finds the autonomy to break free. There's a very interesting line there na sinabi ng lalaki, you're not a child. Pero sinabi niya, yes, I am a child. Because he is treating her like a child. Kinocoddle niya siya. He is limiting her growth. I don't know why. Maybe parang deep-seated na issues, or gusto niya i-assert yung kanyang kumbaga masculinity niya over this woman who is very, very talented. Maybe even better than he is. Diba?
Actually, makikita mo sa movie, walang father figure si Liza Soberano.
True.
Si Sylvia Sanchez
Si Sylvia Sanchez lang. Ang isa sa mga pambansang nanay ng
yun yun.
And actually, gusto ko yun. Yung role, yung sinabi nung girl.
Yes.
Na, yes, I am a child. Usually, you would hear from strong female characters na, no, I'm a woman. Pero she acknowledges na, yes, I'm a child. Kasi you withdrew all of my strength ganyan.
Yan,
Parang,
Hindi kasi pwede rin sabihin kasi ni Liza doon na,
Hindi
yes,
naman
I am a
literally na-
child. Kasi,
Oo.
there's still a child in us eh.
Oo,
Diba? May
hindi,
mga
tsaka kasi
ganun na
parang-
part.
Saka she's still young nga. Yun yung
young
Yeah.
naman
point.
talaga kasi
Oo.
siya, oo. Hindi siya...
Still really young.
Oo.
Saka another thing na na-appreciate ko naman with Alone Together, maganda yung shots, framing, ang ganda.
Yeah, kudos to Neil Daza.
Neil Daza.
Yes. Ay, siya rin ba? Hi, sir.
Hi po. Thank you for listening to us.
Also, yung isa din na nag-lead din sa realization ko sa reading ng film. And nagko-corroborate din sa sinabi ko about Liza's character arc. Yung suot niya eh. You really have to
Yun,
watch what she wears
Yes.
throughout the film.
Oo.
Kasi this is something that was appreciated even with just the trailers. Di ba na, uy, mukha talaga siyang iska, ganyan, na sobrang laid back. Tapos yun, napanood natin yung pelikula, nagsimula siya na, nung student pa nga siya, she wears yung stripe, colorful.
Yeah, very mid-90s, Tsaka very bright.
kindergarten-y, basic colors.
Saka yung mannerisms and gestures niya, childlike.
Oo.
Ganun yung ganun yung makikita mo na parang carefree. And then,
May pimple, ganun.
Not,
Diba nung-
hindi siguro
ayun.
childlike, pero youthful.
yeah, tama, that's the right
Youthful.
term.
And then
Youthful.
yung costume design niya is nung tumalon na dun sa future na ito na yung ano niya,
Yeah.
darkest point niya. Naging dark and solemn din yung suot niya.
Yeah, very,
Mature.
drab, business attire.
And yung dun
Parang
sa,
prim and proper, ganun
Tsaka
na
yung hairstyle niya, it's not nakatali eh. Very severe.
And yung sa hospital scene na full of death, talagang black na yung outfit niya nun eh.
Oo.
And then, it slowly recovers. Later on, bumalik na naging stripe, pero parang upgraded na yung materials.
May katutubo-ish,
Catriona Gray, ikaw ba yan?
And then, at the very end,
Tinira mo ba
sobrang
yan sa amin?
symbolic na ng suot niya, na inspired by national patterns, textiles na yung
Yes.
suot niya.
Ses, binibigyan mo ba ng permission na...
Sige, okay lang. Hindi yan sa amin galing.
Yan,
Manobo,
seal of,
sa Bagobo
Princess
tayo.
Kino, seal of approval. Anyway,
Sa Bagobo
yun.
tayo.
At a different level, both Never Not Love You and Alone Together, they both deal with issues that young adults go through transitioning into adulthood. And in particular, yung ano dito is tawag dito, yun nga, yung sinabi ni DJ na how can I serve after having received my education here in UP. Bilang alumnus din ng UP na medicine, I have lots of classmates na yun nga, galing-galing nila, aral sa UP, naging doktor. As soon as nakuha nila yung diploma nila, pumunta ng US, nag-MLE. So medyo umano din sa akin yun eh. Medyo kumagat din sa akin yun.
May
Kasi-
character, sorry.
Yan, sige, tuloy mo, DJ.
May character nga na, may mentor kasi si Liza na ito yung talagang traditional UP prof na serve the people,
talaga?
ganyan.
Oo dito ka mag-serve eh.
Played by Noni Buencamin.
Played by Noni Buencamin. And he reminded me of Winnie Monson na who famously
Yes.
tells her students na
You should
bumalik
serve.
kayo ng bansa kung di mumultihin ko kayo.
Ako naman, I was expecting na yung nga breakup movie, parang ang memories is Strador, ganun yung pagkakamarket niya. So actually, natuwa naman ako kasi parang hindi ako naiyak dun sa parts na naghihiwalay sila eh. Parang dun sa parts na yun, basta dun sa
Spoiler alert.
traumatic parts nila.
Sa trailer naman yun. So, at least, hindi naman ganun ka-spoiler.
Ay, true.
Naaawa ko for Enrique. Tapos,
True.
pero mas
Ang sakit ang sakit nun.
Oo, parang yun eh, fool me once, shame on you, parang ganun yung dating eh.
Meron ding
Fool me
ano-
twice, shame on me, ganun yun.
Ito
dating na
hugot
sa kanya
din
eh.
to. Parang masakit na yung bigla ka na lang hindi papansinin.
Ay, totoo. Thank
yung,
you ah.
Yung hindi ka nakakausapin.
Ito na po. Ito na po yung mga moments nila.
Hindi ka nakakausapin.
Ito na po.
Joke lang.
May
Ay, ko pala si Joy. Hi, Joy!
Kumaway siya.
Ayun.
Yun,
Tapos, naiyak ako
masakit.
dun sa part na yun nga. Nung sinabi niya yung child siya, ganyan. Ang
Oo.
galing kasi, ito pala, let's talk about Liza Soberano's eyes and facial expressions.
Yeah,
Sobrang
5 over
winner,
5, 5
five.
stars.
Yay!
4-star full house.
Oo, like-
Blackjack.
Doon sa breakup scene pa lang, gusto niyang umiyak, pero
Oo.
na-hold back niya eh, kasi she's showing strength.
Oo, control. Control. Ang
Control niya
galing.
talaga, ang galing. Tapos pati
Bigyan ng breast actress tong babae.
Tapos lahat ng mga, niya, marupok moments niya, marupok talaga yung face niya.
Marupok o marupok? Oo, talaga.
Oo, yung tipong, yung smile niya na uma-arc na hindi
Oo,
mo
yung ma-arc, yung
maintindihan.
pinipilit niya sarili niyang ngingiti ba siya o
Mag-smile.
hindi. Ayun, nako, Diyos ko.
Ayun. So,
Another thing pa na na-observe ko, kasi di ba Antoinette Tadaon is the director, babae siya. So dito, makikita mo rin na may feminism din siya. Mas kasi nag-focus yung film sa character niya, no?
Yeah, it's a
Ni
very
Liza
feminine film,
Ni Liza
actually.
Soberano.
yeah.
She's trying to break free of this. Yung boss niya is yung Liza Soberano had yung parang meron siyang downturn sa kanyang buhay, di ba? And her boss was a guy, I think.
Girl, si Janice.
Si Janice. Pero di ba may higher up pa yun na
Si Janice
tumakas
din
ng
yun.
ibang bansa? Ayun.
Kasi mayroon si Dolly De Leon doon, di ba? Yung parang kino-confront siya, no?
Oo.
Yun, parang...
Carry ni Dolly
Oh my
Delim.
gosh, spoiler.
Sorry po.
Pero yun it's someone taking control of their own life eh. And it's something na a lot of people, especially people in abusive or controlling relationships,
Pinalakpakan mo. Kanina yung
pinalakpakan ko
eksena
kung
na-
nung isang scene, basta may naghiwalayan, pumalakpak ako.
Ayan.
You go, girl.
You go girl, wag kang paalila, wag kang magpakamartir, di ba?
I know, right?
Napaganon siya.
May hugot tayo lang sa pelikulang to eh. Patutugtugin ko din to ng dramatic, silent sanctuary, ganun.
Okay, Sabi ni yours.
Sige.
Atin pong subaybayan.
Helen.
Susunod.
Ako, ewan ko, parang wala naman personal. Kahit ako yung...
Kasi lantern parade, sabi mo. You were painting yung lanterns nung...
okay,
nandun
nahanap ko
sila.
nga yung na-paint ko na
Oh,
waves.
bilang
Pero
bilang
wala.
UP
Student.
Diliman, si DJ kasi lang ang UP Diliman sa ating...
Yes.
Yes.
Ako yung Manila ako.
Ako tambay lang ako ng chocolate kiss eh. Kaya medyo naumalma ako dun sa chocolate kiss scene.
Ano masasabi mo about the UP experience ng mga characters?
Aprobado naman. Aprobado.
Yes.
DJ
Tara
seal
na.
of approval.
Authentic experience.
Yes.
May mga details na parang nung 2010, may parang earlier parts kasi around 2010-ish daw siya. So, nung time na yun, may dumadaan pa na jeep sa harap ng AES sa Palma Hall. So, nireflect naman yun kahit nag-shoot sila na wala nang dumadaan na jeep dun sa area na yun.
Wala na ngayon? Wala na ngayon?
Sa likod na kasi dumadaan.
Bawal na doon talaga yung mga jeep.
Nag-effort sila,
pala.
din na sa harap ng ano.
Oo, tama.
Feel ko binlock nila yun para lang makapag-shoot.
Oo.
At ang napansin natin, tumawid sila kahit
Kahit red light.
Tumitin.
Hindi sa... Toot!
tumawid po sila kahit
Basta yun.
Tumawid sila. Red light.
Saka sakto lang naman yung pagkagamit nila sa Diliman eh. Parang hindi siya masyadong indulgent.
Yeah.
Ano lang.
I expected it to take more of the film. Pero kung tutusin, it's like 1/3 of the film lang eh. Not counting yung mga later na saglit na pagkikita lang, di ba? Sunken lang yun or ano.
Speaking of location pala, parang another point of comparison between this film and many other mainstream love theme films na may destination niya.
Yes, may
And this
destination.
version is New York. But for me, this is the first time siguro in so many such films na satisfied ako dun sa destination section ng film.
Purposeful yung
Kasi-
pagpunta nila
Yeah,
eh.
exactly. Purposeful. Unlike, say, sa Never Not Love You, bakit London? Pwede
Oo.
naman any other place.
Hindi lang sa Thailand.
Or
Ganun.
The House of Us, bakit Amsterdam? Para may tulips. Wala. Pero dito kasi, ingrained talaga siya. Nagsimula siya sa art. Pumunta siya sa New York wanting to find art.
Yes.
Yun. And hindi na masyado nag-indulge na una natin lahat. Hindi nga nakita ang Statue of Liberty, di ba? Parang,
Hindi.
True.
Di ba parang hindi niya kailangan i-sweep lahat ng...
Walang drone
landmarks,
shots
yeah.
of Staten Island.
Walang drone shots of...
ay ganon.
Nag-blip mag-isa yun. Blinip yung sarili.
Spoiler alert.
Oo.
Ayun. Speaking of art, this is also a film about art. Being a worker for art kasi it's a thankless job eh. You are a cultural worker. You are working not for a corporate interest. You're not working technically for directly for the good of the people, kagaya ng mga doktor. Pero your role in society is still very important. And I think medyo nakuha nila yun with Liza's character.
Saka, yun, at least doon mo makikita yung value ng character ni Enrique Hill na siya kasi yung I'm a doctor, I actually save lives versus your kind of adding value to society via art na medyo mas remove siguro, ganun, mas abstract.
If ever, parang lies through through being of art, purveyor of art or a worker of art, you save souls, ganun. Siguro. Pero ewan ko.
Kasi sabi nga nung last character, di ba, na parang hindi lang siya pang form of self-expression. It's also
it's not just
interpretation of
She's still helping people in her own way.
Yes.
Pero, it's saying that this is still important, especially, and there are many, well, not really many. There are some parts in this film where Liza's character breaks the fourth wall. She looks directly at the audience.
I think in some parts yata parang she's supposed to be looking at Enrique, or ako lang ba yun?
Pwede din. Well, kunyari, there's one
Kasi
scene.
nandun din si Enrique na scene na yun.
There's one scene na she's in the car. She's in a car. Yun
Clearly.
Which also adds, because in that scene she's in the car. This is my favorite song, she says. And that song is a form of art, and she's inspired. She ascribes this art to a very powerful memory.
Actually, speaking of the song, maganda rin yung soundtrack niya.
Oh yes, very nice.
Ng film.
Ang ganda ang favorite kong pasok was yung Spoliarium ng Eraserheads and yung kanta ni Army Milyare.
Ganda rin
Bag
yan.
naman yung bawat kanta.
Yes, actually.
Ako gusto ko yung 214 na version, pero mali yung pasok niya. For me. Mas maganda siguro kung pinasok siya nung naglalakad. Yung same yung sa trailer na naglalakad siya papuntang
may weird
famous seat sa sunken.
Though dun sa 214, may weird na part doon na parang si J.M. De Guzman, he sang this version of the song. Parang, gumaganda na siya Tapos parang, hindi na to bagay.
Hindi na ba?
Actually, nga nung
minelo daw nila.
Nung pinapakinggan ko siya, naisip ko, what if si J.M. De Guzman nga, hindi si Enrique Hill yung gumanap dun sa character. May mga ganun akong, ewan ko, thoughts lang.
Paano kaya kung paano siya?
Paano siya nawala? Tara!
Biglang pumasok si Rian Ramos.
Yung speaking of art, naisip ko lang na yung favorite close-up ka sa film of Liza Soberano, in a film full of Liza Soberano close-ups.
Daming tight shots
It's when she looks at this particular painting na sobrang amazed lang siya. And it captures her enrapturement at looking at that painting.
Tsaka you don't see the painting itself, di ba?
Hindi muna. Parang,
hindi muna You don't
siya
see
muna,
it.
yung
You see
epekto
her
muna sa
reaction
kanya.
and then you see the painting. Ang galing nga
maganda, yung nuance niya dito ni Liza Soberano, magaling talaga.
Yeah, it's a very finely crafted film.
May contrast din yun kasi yung background niya yung white wall lang sa other wall ng gallery.
Regarding sa since this is Enrique Hill's character sa Doctor to the Barrio, I'm a doctor, ganun. I have a lot of friends na Doctor to the Barrio, and one of our friends, Gabriel Borlongan, formerly of Film Police, consulted on the film. And in fairness naman, in general, the film is medically okay naman. Pero ito lang nitpicks lang to talaga. Number one, yung hindi ko kasi alam kung paano mag-med school uniform ang mga taga-Uste. I'm assuming taga-Uste si Enrique Hill.
Kung dapat pala nandito
Kasi
si Paul.
nakapolo siya.
Mukha siyang naka-arts and letters.
Dapat nandito si Paul.
Arts and letters siya.
Kasi taga-USC si Paul.
Yun nga pero yung specific ko, up to the point, to the end of the flashback na arc or nung act, nakapolo siya. Tapos in between that, at saka yung pagkita nila ulit was 5 years, di ba? Ang alam ko kasi, kahit sa Uste, pag pag med school ka, naka-med uniform ka. Alam mo yung med uniform na parang...
Yan.
Ayan,
Ayan, oo.
Sorry.
yung puting uniform na nakaputi.
Oo.
Pero nakapolo si Enrique Hill.
Nakapolo nga siya.
Ito pa, ang DTTB, merong contract yan for 3 years. Meron kang siguro 8 months na magto-train ka in public health. And then after nun, 3 taon ka dun sa destino mo, kung saan man yun. Pwede ka mag-renew or hindi. So, kailangan in the space of 5 years, nakagraduate si Enrique Hill. I'm assuming kung hindi siya med school, siya ay isang undergrad. So, nag-graduate siya sa undergrad, nag-4 na taon siyang med proper, nag-internship siya ng 1 taon, nag-board siya, then nag-DTTB siya. So that's another year and then 3 more years. So 8 years dapat yung pagitan.
Yeah.
At the very least. Yung pagitan before they saw
Each other again.
So medyo wonky yung timeline na yun.
Oo.
Pangalawa. Nasa ER sila. Ito pala sabi sa
ito
akin.
na.
Itong
The ER scene.
They shot the scene in They shot an ER scene in this film in Veterans Memorial. Yung lumang ER daw.
Okay.
The walls looked white. So parang dinungisan nila lang kapit daw yun.
Okay.
So yun. Pero yun ito kung ikaw magjo-duty ka sa ER, at least 24 hours yan. At least 24 hours. 12 hours
Very
if you're
oxygen.
lucky. Walang blazer. Yung blazer yung jacket na puti. Walang blazer na hindi nadudumihan
Ay, true lalo yan.
Oo
True lalo.
in
nga.
12 to 24 hours. I swear. As
Sa
in-
Amang Rodriguez, parang pwede silang commercial ng Tide eh. Yung naninilaw na yung
Gulat ka, no?
Gugulat ka na lang.
Naglalakas siya sa ear, kumikislap na siya.
Oo.
Oy, ginagamit ko.
I mean,
Ay,
doktor
ganun.
sila at magaganda at pogi sila. Pero alam mo yung ang dungis no.
Ang sabi ni Gab dito, parang madungis daw siya sa personal, pero parang napalinis
Anong edit?
nung edit siguro.
Ay, di na napa sa color grading.
Ayun. Ito pa, may isang scene na ito pa, sorry guys ha. Nitpicks lang talaga. May isang scene na yung character ni Enrique Hill, nagdadala siya ng tinatawag namin to NSS. This is Saline Solution for IV. Nagdadala siya ng mga bote na yon sa truck niya.
Oo nga.
Bakit? Saan niya dinadala yun?
Eto na.
Ano yun?
Nasaan?
Iuwi ba niya sa bahay? Inumin ba niya?
Dadali niya sa Barrios?
I'm assuming kasi Quezon City yung hospital niya.
Oo.
So I'm assuming after the DTTB
Uy,
thing,
siya Paranaque. Taga Paranaque yun eh.
Oh my gosh.
after the DTTB thing, nag-ER siya sa
Veterans.
Sa veterans. Ewan ko kung bilang residente. Kung residente ka, hindi ka ganun ka-free, by the way.
Oo.
Malamang medical officer lang, yung nag-a-admit lang ng patient sa ER. Nagtitriage lang. So, nagdadala siya ng IV fluid. Saan niya idadala? Nandun na yung ospital eh. Ano yun? Pre-refill niya? Ganun.
Hindi kasi ibang doon.
Kasi may na-dehydrate sa bahay.
Yun. Tapos, ito pa, may isang scene din doon na na-explain daw to actually. May explanation to sa script pero parang hindi ko alam kung ano nangyari sa editing process. May isang patient doon, tapos ang ginawa, nagkaroon siya ng pneumothorax. Pneumothorax is air in the lungs.
Nagpa-block.
Hindi siya makalabas, so the lungs cannot inflate. Hindi ka makahinga. Tapos, additionally, kung malala yung pneumothorax mo, pati yung mga structures mo sa mga heart dito, makakrush din siya.
Kipan.
Ang treatment nun is insertion of a chest tube para mag-normalize yung air pressure. Meron din yung mas faster but less, medyo mas tricky na method. It's called needle thoracostomy.
Okay.
So, tutusukin mo yon para doon lumabas yung hangin. Para kang balloon na nagdi-deflate ka ng balloon.
Oo, yun ba yung parang ballpen?
Yeah, yun yung mga nakikita nyo sa mga palabas
Medical
na,
drama.
parang gano'n nila. Yun eh.
Good doctor, mga gano'n.
Inisip ko,
Wait
bakit,
natin.
kung nasa ER ka na, bakit hindi mo lagyan ng chest tube? Pero yung explanation naman doon is, wala silang gamit or suddenly nag-deteriorate yung pasyente. Pwede naman. Yun. May explanation naman.
Saka nakakaloka lang kasi parang relax lang yung character ni Enrique. Parang in
Pero gusto ko siya. Oy, maraming doktor na gano'n chill lang chill lang.
To, no acting.
Ano,
Pero may fun may fun experience
ng mga
dun kanina
eksena
sa
sa
sinihan.
LDR eh.
Nung 'di ba, may fun experience sa sinihan kanina nung tinatry siya. May isang girl na marupok, tinatry i-redeem si Guy. Tapos may sinabi siya na parang sana maalala mo na mahal kita. Tapos ang sagot lang nung guy, ingat ka. Yung talaga parang lahat,
durog
my
na
God.
durog. Kailangan tawagin code.
Boom!
Tawagin mo ER dito. Yun na yung matay. Nadurog ang puso. Ganun.
Boom! Ganun yun.
Actually, yung sa car scene, yung di ba sa ending scene na nasa car si Liza, ang naalala ko, yung si J.M. de Guzman in That Thing Called Tadhana. Kasi parang medyo similar, pero ito po kasi may epilogue. So, iba-iba yung yun lang. Nabanggit
Sige,
ko lang.
mag-spoil ka pa. Sige.
kaya nasabi ko epilogue, di ba? Pero hindi ko naman sinabi na, yun na yan.
Epilogue. Yun. Yan, actually, parang naubos na ba namin? Ano pa ba tayong gusto sabihin?
Oo nga, parang na-cover naman na.
Parang
Maganda siya. It's not super the best. Pero it's really, really good for me.
it's a good,
Parang galing. It's the best Liz Quen film. It's the best Liza Soberano film.
yes.
Liza Soberano, you
si
deserve.
Antoinette Hadaon.
Give her all the awards. Every
Go get it,
time.
girl.
Parang na-imagine ko yan yung ginagawa ni Hadaw ngayon. O tara, sinong love team next? Tara, gawa tayo ng magandang
I-challenge natin sila.
Oo.
Ganon.
Kasi tapos na si Julia and di ba, with yung sa Stars.
Love You to the Stars and
Oo,
Back.
yun.
Yun yung ginuna niya eh.
Yung Love You to the Stars and Back was
Napanood ng
fine. Pero medyo conventional pa yun. Pa mga tae jokes dun eh. Pero it's fine. You can still feel the conventionality of star cinema / black sheep narratives going into this film na tipong, yun nga, punta ka sa ibang lugar, there's a love team. Pero it's done in a way na for the most part anyway, it's very, very effective. Especially the first act of the film is so good. It's one of the best first acts I've seen. Even
nga.
2018 pa. It's one of the
Yes,
best first acts I've seen.
Actually, nakita ko pala kanina sa credits. Ang galing kasi, alam niyo naman yung favorite director ko of all time.
And our special guest.
Pero mas maganda pala na nagko-collaborate si Antoinette and si Irene. Si Irene naging naging AD rin pala niya dito. Kasi I think yung may part na yung she was ready to leave and stuff. Kind of reminded me of Sid and Aya.
Actually, yun yung naiisip ko. Yung si Denaya.
So, nung nakita ko kasi parang similar dun sa Sid and Aya and Meet Me in St. Gallen, na parang they're
Lalo
strong
na nung nasa New
female
York.
characters.
Yung nasa New York sila, yun.
Yeah.
Very Sid and Aya. Very
Kasi-
Irene Villamorio.
Oo, kasi parang, hello, wala namang problema sa guy. Why are you leaving the guy? Diba? Except kay Irene baliktad. May problema yung mga guys. Go, girl. Leave, ganun.
Yun. Okay na?
Okay na.
Ayan.
Ayan, nakapaghugot na tayo, guys.
Birthday DJ.
Happy birthday,
Yeah.
DJ.
Happy birthday, DJ. Liza Soberano, please join our podcast.
Yes, please.
You deserve all the awards. Best in
Yes.
float,
Please,
best
Liza.
float, best cinematography, best editing. Ikaw na lahat. Bigay na sa'yo. Ayun. So for our last segment of the day, ibahin natin ng konti. So since Valentine's Day ngayon, I guess all of you guys, please tell me up to 3 of your favorite romantic films. I guess I'll start with me.
Okay.
Ako, mahilig ako sa mga romantic films na yung hindi sila nakikita for a long, long time. Yung hindi silang mi-meet. Yan. So, one of my favorite yung mga ganong films na gusto ko is unang-una yung 2016, Your Name, ni Makoto Shinkai. Yon, very nice film. Another one is Phailan. It's a Korean film. I think 2005? 2004? Si Cecilia Chung, tsaka si Yung guy sa Oldboy, forgot his name. The guy from Oldboy.
Yung matanda or
Si
ano?
Oldboy. Si Oldboy. Siya. Yun. It's a very... yun din, it's not really a romance film as it is about... A film about these two people changing each other in very, very subtle ways. And then, the last one is Shunji Iwai's Love Letter. It's a 1996 film. Napakagandang pelikula nun. Parang... Dati pa lang humuhugot na si Shunji Iwai bago maunang ang madla. It's about this girl. This girl goes back to her hometown. She finds out na she goes to a library and she finds out about this kid who had a crush on her. And then she starts like this weird correspondence. She flashes back. Ganun. Anyway, yun yung tatlo. Hanapin niyo yun wherever you can find your movies. Charot. Huwag lang magpahuli sa FBI. Joke. Ayan, sino gustong next?
Ako.
Princess.
Ika eh, no? Top 3. Top 3. Siguro, my favorite of all time. Hindi naman ito mahirap hanapin. Lagi naman present itong mga to. When Harry Met Sally. As in, kahit ilang beses ko siya panoorin, kabisado ko siya, ganyan. Tapos parang, every time napapanoorin ko siya, may something akong bagong nakuha. Ganyan. Pero it's about friendship. So, yun. It started as friends, tapos bilang turns out, bagay para sila, ganyan. Second is Amelie. Special sa akin yun kasi si Amelie, yun yung mga first films na pinanood ko nung bata ako na opened me to a lot of other foreign films na ma-discover, ganun. Tapos medyo close nga sa heart ko yung French films. So, yeah. Lastly is total rom-com naman. Gusto ko talaga, ito talaga, nagpapalit ako. Gusto ko Serendipity, sasabihin ko, pero fourth na lang sa Serendipity. Sorry, girls. Si Meg Ryan. Sleepless in Seattle.
Okay.
As in yun talaga.
Classic.
Classic siya.
Yun.
Love ko yung love team nila eh.
Ayun.
Tom Hanks.
DJ, last ka na lang. Birthday boy for last. Yes. Jim, ikaw naman.
Favorite romantic movie of all time. Siyempre, first ko yung Two for the Road nila Audrey Hepburn and Albert Finney.
Okay.
Kasi yung movie na yun, accurately depicted marriage na when it comes to marriage, hindi naman laging tawag dito, happy, ganon. And then, kasi it's about couple, na mahilig mag-travel. Ganon. And then, while traveling, nare-realize sila yung mga pinagdaanan nila sa married life nila, ganon.
Okay.
And then, during that time kasi, si Audrey Hepburn, na kukuhin siya as rom-com queen. Pero ito kasi, ito yung isa sa mga mature film niya, yung Two for the Road. Second ay Wong Kar-wai's In the Mood for Love.
Yeah, definitely.
Yun talaga, yun ang second favorite romantic movie ko.
Oh, by the way, may scene sa Alone Together na parang nag-i-in the mood for love siya. Parang, nga ba yun? We're not those kind of people. Nagsabing ganun. Kasi that's a line from In the Mood for Love.
Yeah, Mood for Love. And then, third, 500 Days of Summer. Kasi talaga, gusto ko yung character ni Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Tom Hanson. Ayun. Saka yung part na expectations versus reality. Gusto ko yung part na yun sa 500 Days of Summer. Ayun. Yun na po.
Minsan lang na may parang innovation in film storytelling na nagbi-bleed talaga into language, everyday people's language. So ako na.
Ayan, DJ.
Hindi ko sure yung ranking, pero kanina dalawa lang yung naisip ko eh. Isang local, isang foreign. Yung foreign is Brooklyn 2015.
Oh, okay.
Lahat ng favorite ko parang puro recent na yun. Hindi ako... dami ko pa kailangan. Pero Brooklyn, ito yung pelikula na naging favorite actress ko si Saoirse Ronan after watching it. Ang interesting about Brooklyn is something pointed out by A.O. Scott sa review niya sa New York Times is, although period film siya, set in the 1950s, it didn't really try to be authentic too much to its time na, syempre nung time na yun, women di naman ganun ka free or, syempre mas oppressed pa ang women that time na mas kontrolado sila ng mga lalaki. Lahat ng issues na before the 60s liberation, ganyan. Pero sa film, nagkataon lang na, for example, ano din, immigration story din kasi siya or emigration story. So from Ireland to New York and back. What convinced yung si Eilish Lacey kasi yung bida si Saoirse Ronan, what convinced her to go to New York is not really poverty, even if that time namang problema yung Irish people sa post-war depression or recession, gano'n. Pero sa kanya, hindi economic yung nagtulak sa kanya pumunta ng Amerika, kundi parang some kind of self-fulfillment, ganyan. And yun, ganun siya all throughout the movie. Ano talaga siya nostalgia done right for me, yung Brooklyn. Na Brooklyn. Adapted siya from a novel by Colm Tobin. Ang nag-adapt ng screenplay si Nick Hornby na novelist. Then, yun. Directed by James Crowley, I think. Anyway, yung local naman is Sana Dati by Gerald Taro.
Ay, yeah.
Na
Hirap magsabi ng tatlo, no?
hirap na tatlo lang. Ano ba yun? Nung sinabi ko rin recently, parang madalas tinatanong sa akin, ano ba favorite local movie mo of all time? Parang, ewan ko bakit, pero Sana Dati yung naisip ko agad lagi. Tapos sabi sa akin, ano ba special doon? Tapos napaisip, ano nga ba special? Siguro yung storytelling, non-linear, na kaya useful siya even for multiple viewings kasi may mga tanong talaga na, ano kaya sagot doon? may mga ganun. Plus, yung cinematography din kasi niya by, sino ulit to? Si Maki Galvez.
Maki Galvez,
Interesting kasi meron akong binili ko yung DVD nun and then may commentary sila na nga na makikita mo. Sobrang galing kasi ng paggamit ng film language ng Sana Dati.
Yes.
So, yung mga juxtaposition, yung mga magkaibang characters, different scenes, pero same set, same blocking, same locations, ganun. So parang it adds layers of meaning to the film na natuwa ako that time. For me, nung napanood ko yun bago sa akin.
By the way, if you can watch Sana Dati, meron kasing version sa iFlix. It's a cut
not-
version.
wag yung
It's not the best version of the film. The best version of the film is the DVD version.
Meron akong DVD.
Yung
Yeah.
100 minutes at least yung full version.
Yes.
Weird yun, napanood ko rin pinalabas din kasi sa GMA yun, Free TV premiere niya.
Yeah, yung-
Pinanood ko, tapos sobrang daming na-cut.
Ang weird ng flow ng scenes. And I think it was cut without Gerald Tarok's input.
Non-linear na siya, kinot-cut mo pa yung
Nawala eh. Nawala.
And naalala ko pa, napanood ko yun sa Cine Adarna eh. Tapos yung reaction talaga ng audience ng ending, ano yun? Ano nangyari? Ganun. Pero galing. Pero I think makompleto ko na yung tatlo kasi na-mention mo kanina. Naalala ko na, gusto ko nga rin pala yun, yung Kimi no Na wa, Your Name.
Your Name.
Yun lang.
Maganda talaga siya, no?
Maganda talaga.
My gosh.
Parang ang daming kinonekta eh. Biglang naging
Di ba?
dreamy.
It's such a wonderfully crafted film.
Through time and space, love persists. Mga ganyan.
Yun. So, that ends our episode for today.
Yay.
Hopefully we can talk to Wink
Liza.
Wink.
Liza
Please
Soberano.
guest us. We have a few more very interesting episodes coming. So, until next time, we will see you all. Bye-bye.